What's up, LC heads? We are blessed with a new collab. Depends on how you want to look at it. What am I calling this? The Earth Element Ryvern is here. Now, why do I say that? Well, because they're so similar. We'll get into that real quick. First things first, though, we gotta holler at the arc. Okay, we got a new arc here. I'm actually really glad that they did something with this thing. The original arc, what is this thing called? Veldora dragon. I can't see it. It's covered up. So, fun little fact, if I recall this correctly myself, the original dragon arc for this collab is actually not an LR arc. It was before LR was a thing. So even though it is a collab arc, they just classified it as an SSR arc. It's happened to me a few times where I went in there to find that arc, and I'm looking in the LR arcs, and it's just not there. That's because they classify it as just a normal SSR arc. They then started classifying them as LR's limited rare arcs because you could only get them while the collab was around. So this original arc with this dragon, it was something that I used for all of my makeshift healers, right? It had the name-giving ability on it. Now, some people like name-giving, others don't. I like it because you can add it to a healer character, and now all of a sudden that healer character is also giving stat buffs. Pretty decent stat buffs too. If you are actually using the arc, I think it gives you an extra 10% to all the stat buffs. So pretty much what name giving did is the healer loses half their health, but they give somebody a 10% to all their stat buff, and if they have the arc equipped, that's 20% to all their stats that they're giving. So you could take a healer that's just there to heal, give them the arc, and now they're actually a pretty decent stat buffer. And them being a healer, they don't mind taking 50% of their hit points as damage to get the buff off, because a healer can then just heal themselves. So I've always thought it was kind of nifty. The name giving buff was cool. And now we get this. And I really like this. First and foremost, the arc trait on this, Earth skill damage plus 35%. So it's for them Earth users. When hit point is 50% or less, auto cast high protection. So that's nice. 10 seconds after battle starts, give closest ally to unit the Storm Dragon Teachings buff, which boosts strength and defense 10% of the value before the battle starts. So you're getting 10% to your strength and defense. Boost unit strength and defense 10% of the value before battle starts. So it's not going to give you 10% of the stats after they've been buffed to hell by all the other abilities. But still, you're getting a nice 10% to strength and defense, your base 10%. Re-give Storm Dragon's teaching buff every 10 seconds after. So, from my understanding, you're gonna just be every 10 seconds, you're gonna be giving that buff to the closest ally to you. It's nice. It's definitely a nice passive support thing. On top of doing all of this Earth skill damage stuff. So, I've just leveled this thing up. Obviously, I'm going to be trying to run this with name giving, just to see if I can stack both of them together. I should be able to, because name giving is a different buff than what are they calling this? Storm Dragon Teachings buff. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. But obviously, this is going to be something that some kind of Earth damager is going to want to take, and they're going to have some support capability out of that. So, right, aside from that, we look at some of the unit skills here, and we get kind of an idea of how this new hero is, right? The big 11 SC ability to earn here is empty-handed. When no weapons are equipped, physical attack damage plus 30%. I actually thought it was going to say no weapons and armor, but yeah, when no weapons are equipped, physical attack damage 30% and damage cap 10,000. There are a few heroes in this game that do not use weapons or armor. And with this in particular, you just don't have to have a weapon equipped, right? So you could still use an armor if you wanted to. So yeah, the big bad fire troll that we have is like this. He does not use weapons. Luxizius, the Lord of Ruin. Off the top of my head, I don't think he uses weapons or armor either. You're just equipping accessories to him. So, something to keep in mind. Like, there are arcs in this game that have these abilities that empower a hero that's not using a weapon, and that's, you know, not equipping a weapon or an armor. And there's just a few heroes in this game that are like that. This is going to be one of them. So that might deter people from pulling on this hero. Like, if you don't have the other arcs that give you abilities like empty-handed, some people might just be like, you know what, that's a lot to fish for to really trick this character out, right? That's check. Skill damage to enemies close to death plus 15%. I mean, that can be pretty useful for some gnarly-ass bosses that have crazy thresholds at the end. We get some wind circle and some hit point up max. So, I think it's pretty cool, especially for these heroes that aren't equipping weapons. And of course, we have the secret text. Skill attack damage 10%. When no armor or weapons are equipped, skill attack damage plus 20%. So that's 30% if you're not wearing any armor or weapon. It's actually pretty cool. 52 strength, 87 mind. Not a bad accessory, especially for those heroes. So, yeah. Ryvern is one of them. He's fire element. This guy's going to be, this is why I'm calling him the Earth Ryvern, right? There's kind of going to be set up the same way. Let's take a look at him real quick. I did look out and I got the arc. Let's see what old Dragon Boy's looking like. Yes, he is a dragon. This is the dragon from the arc in badass hero form, right? Has some pretty gnarly stats. 2057 strength. No weapons or armor equipped. Damn. Resist to stun. Weak to silence. Nil to curse. And resist to blind. And you're going to want that resistance to blind because he be punching people. So, S1, S2, S3. He's just doing earth damage. The cool thing is, though, he is hitting like Ryvern, so he's going to be hitting for like well over 100,000 damage per hit. S1, S2, S3. The S3 is cool. Wa-cha-cha-cha. It is a giant dragon's breath thing. He jumps up into the air, and he can hit somebody across the screen with that. And then we have Quackaka, the special powerful earth combo attack to all enemies. Final hit damage cap 500,000. So, you know, easily over 500,000 damage right there with just the last hit. Here is where this character plays different than other heroes. The closest thing I can compare it to is the Attack on Titan heroes because they have their little gas buff. So, what this guy does, let's see, every 5 seconds, give the unit a buff. Magic Cube, I think that's what it says. I can barely see. We'll call it the Magic Cube buff. So every 5 seconds, this guy gets a buff or a stack on him, right? And each one of those buffs or stacks, he's going to use to increase his damage. So, Magic Cube buff active when using a skill, chance to use one of the buffs to boost the damage by 50% and damage cap by 40,000. When special activates, use all of your buffs, all of the little Magic Cube buffs. I know I'm calling them the wrong thing. Magic Clue. Buffs to boost damage 50%, damage cap 40,000. When 5 Magic cube buffs are stocked, after 5 seconds, use all magic cube buffs to cut units hit point 50% of max hit point and give unit a strength minus 50% debuff. I don't know exactly how that plays out. I have not tested him. I don't have him yet, because yeah, I ran him in the unit test level. I didn't see his hit points getting cut or anything like that. I even started wondering, like, is that like a debuff for the enemy, where if you use all of your stacks on them, they get some kind of hit point 50%. Wait. To cut units hit point 50% of max hit points. Yeah, this has got to be for him. And gives unit a strength minus 50 debuff. So maybe after he dumps his whole load, he gets some kind of little debuff on him. That's something I would actually have to run and test, and I don't have him yet. Aside from that, though, what I did notice is he gets these buffs fairly quickly, right? Every 5 seconds he gets another buff and another buff. So he's going to be one of these heroes that's a decent team player, right? Because you're going to be able to click over to him, and you're going to be able to dump all your buffs and get all your crazy damage out of him. And then when you're out of those, you just switch over to another character and start dropping their kit. And by the time you're done with that other character, it's been 20 seconds. You have 4 more of these buffs, right? So, you know, he's a good team player, I would have to say. You're going to be able to get all the nar damage out of him, switch over to another hero, right? The other cool thing he has in his trait is when no weapon, no armor or weapon are equipped, physical attack of special damage 130%, damage cap 50,000 more. Here's the part that actually got me interested. When using a skill, can't be interrupted by most attacks. So all you got to do is start using an ability, and then you're uninterruptible. That is really cool. That makes it damn near impossible to cut him off, to cut his damage off, right? I really like that. Can't be interrupted by most attacks. So, and Storm Dragon's Charisma buff active, enemy attention draw +2. When regular attack hits enemy, make attribute Earth. So, why do they put that in there? Well, because he's not using a weapon, right? And because he's not using a weapon, it doesn't have an attribute to it. So this is your way of making all your physical basic attacks and everything Earth attack anyway, because he's going to have Earth attack rise, Earth critical. He's going to have all those things empowering Earth damage. So we want to make sure that his basic attack is at least drawing from that Earth damage pool. So yeah, his basic attacks are just by default going to be Earth, which is nice. You don't have to worry about putting Earth, weapon on him. So that's how he's going to work in a nutshell, and from what I can see, it does work fairly well. You start the fight off, you go over to your healer buffer. By the time you put a couple of buffs up or debuffs for the enemy, or set your team up, he's probably going to have like 3 or 4 of these charges ready to go. You can dump his kit, do hell of a lot of damage. I've seen him hit for like 180,000 a hit, especially with that S3, right? And then, by then, your other attacker is apple pied. You can go over to him and start, dumping their kit. And when you get done with that hero, you can come back to this guy, and he's going to have 5 of his charges charged up, right? Here's his charisma. All allies, physical damage taken minus 10%. If damage is an attribute, weakness, minus 15% more. So, it's good defensive charisma, better than nothing. Dragon Mastery is cool. When unit has dragon type, give physical and magical attack special counter an anti-god type effect, damage from gods minus 10%, and special damage plus 20. It's like dragons were just meant to eat gods. So, they seem to be sworn enemies. I don't know. Dragon Mastery is cool, especially if you're fighting a god. Aside from that, let's see. We have the usual culprits here. We got auto haste. He does come with stone armor, stone wall effect. I think he had another Stone, another wall effect on him too. Last time I was running him, that's just what I was seeing in his buffs. Awaken 2, very nice. Gale Force, I think Gale Force is the shit. This is just awesome. I wish more heroes would have something like Gale Force. At max hit points, SCT recovery speed plus 10%. I really like it when their SCT fills up quick, and all he has to do is stay at full hit points. He has Proud Force. The amount of damage that this guy is going to do per hit, as soon as Proud Force procs off of 180,000 damage, he's going to be healing up pretty decent little amounts at a time. Especially with, the crazy crit damage he's going to be doing. So, Gale Force is going to work. We have Earth Giga Drive. That's very nice. Earth Attack Rise, that 20%. Stone Enhance. Earth Critical Rise. Yeah, we need that. He comes with Pirate's Feast. Very nice to have. At the end of battle, recover all SCT. Spirit Breath. So it's going to help him feed his kit. He comes with Blessed Speed for free. That's like an 8 SC ability. Piercing. Got to be able to pierce with them punches, though. If you're going to... Wait, what did that idiot say? If you're going to come with a swing, it better sting. Oh! Yeah, I'm talking about Corey Feldman, the comeback king. If you're going to swing, you better make it sting. Oh my god, I saw that. I saw some people covering a video on him and how cringe he is. Oh my goodness, this fool said, if you're gonna take a swing, you better make it sting. Oh! Anyway, Shockwave 2. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Hold on a second. Hello? 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 Can I help you? Senior advisors can suck my nuts. I'm in the middle of a goddamn video, lady. You called me from a not spam number to try to trick me. I'm not even old, bitch. What? You know what? Back to the video. Sorry about that, folks. I'm out here doing the good work. I let spammers call me and I waste their time. And sometimes they try to get smart and try to call me from some other number. Anyway, we got Shockwave 2. Physical attacks have a chance to nullify enemy guard. So, better than Shockwave 1. He's got some special boosts built in. Indomitable Spirit, this is the better one. So, he gets to come back to life, and he gets skill damage plus 30% buff. Giant Killing 3, not 2, 3. So, you're going to be able to stack that up with Giant Killing 2. Rapid Recovery is nice to have. Here we get to some of the good stuff. Spiritual Attack Resistance. Okay, Resistance, not Resonance. Continuous Metis Effect, nice to have. Nullify mind down debuffs from active skills. It's going to be harder to break this fool's mind. So, going to be a little bit more resistant to magic damage. Alright. We have Sacred Text. Equipped accessory, strength, defense, mind, plus 50%. Remember, you're not equipping a weapon. You're not equipping an armor. So, this lets us get more stats out of any accessories that we have. I think that's very nice. And then we have Veldora style killing arts. First one to learn. When no armor or weapon are equipped, strength, defense plus 100%, mind plus 50%. When unit has the magical buff, that's this little buff, skill damage plus 100%, damage cap plus 40,000% more. So you're going to want to make sure you have one of those damn little buffs on you before you start just dumping your kit, right? I am fully revived. Battle starts, give unit revive effect. No time limit. When revive, give the unit a strength 50% buff, lasts 20 seconds. That could be pretty annoying in guild versus guild. This guy is going to have a decent hit point pool. He is a freaking dragon. Also, think about this. For guild versus guild, people are setting up teams with Human Slayer and, the Human Busters. You're going to have somebody specifically decked out to be a Dragon Slayer to really deal with this guy. So, it's kind of one of those things I look at like, yeah, lots of heroes in the enemy team are probably going to have Human Buster, probably some God Buster in there, but we typically don't worry about setting units up with Dragon Busters to go into GVG. I think there's only one other dragon hero mill him, right? So yeah, this guy might do just fine in GVG, right? He's gonna have a decent hit point pool, and it's not like you got to worry about giving him really good weapons to equip him. So he does come with that I am fully revived. You can throw some other revive shenanigans on him and probably have him run the clock out quite a bit. And he is going to get some crazy stats when he comes back to life. Again, I wish I could test some of this stuff by actually running him. He does sound like he would be a blast to run. So all in all, he's going to run like Ryvern, maybe a little bit different, but big, meaty character. High amounts of damage on the screen, earth damage. So, yeah, do with this as you will. We do have another hero coming, Diablos. From my understanding, Diablos is freaking awesome. So, we will have to see, right? I would still hold out a little bit, right? I'm happy I got the Arc. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if I go back and really try to go for this hero. I would like to run him. I think he does look pretty cool. So, best of luck to everybody out there. And I will see you on the flip side. Later, folks.